everybody. My name is Jonathan, and welcome to Bearly Unboxed. Today, we have a retro throwback toy video. I have some older toys from the 80s, the 90s, 2000s to open today, plus some new toys that were just released, but they have a retro feel to them. And I thought, why not just do a video of all of them together, especially since they're all very related. So, first of all, you may have noticed in my thumbnails, if you watch my videos regularly, that this guy was in the intro image at the beginning of all my videos. Kind of has like multiple things in it that I'm going to be opening over the course of the month or 2 or 3. Sometimes it takes me a while to change those out. But this was the last thing in that intro image that I haven't got to, and I wanted to make sure I got to it before I get into my Halloween videos for the month of October. And this is a Snugglebumms. These were made by Play School, and I was obsessed with these when I was a kid. These came out in 1985, and I actually had a few of them. I had one of these. I think it was specifically this purple one, but there's also a pink one. So there's Trusty and Lucky. And these are basically the pets that go with the Snugglebumms. Now this is a Snugglebum, and I picked this up a few years ago from I think it was eBay, and it was a really good price. He was actually in his box and everything, but the box was in really bad condition. But I saved it anyway because it's just so cool to have something from my childhood. And the thing with Snugglebumms is, they would come with a brush, and there's some hair on it from him because I was brushing him. But it does say Play School on the little brush and has a little heart. And usually I have him on display, just having him hold his little brush like that. But they also came with this little storybook. I mean, this was back when I feel like toys had so much more care put into them. And this has some of the the cutest artwork I've ever seen. This was specifically from 1984. So the pets, I think, came later in 1985. So I would have been 6 years old when these came out. So these would have been specifically made basically for me, because they're ages 3 and up. I would have been the target audience for these, basically. But just look at this artwork. I think this artwork is so cute. And on the back, it does say this little Snugglebum's promise. It says, "My little Snugglebum requires loving care. I'll always brush it gently, and happy times we'll share. But when I'm sad or feeling blue, my pal will leave me never. So I will give it tons of hugs, and we'll be friends forever." And then you were supposed to sign your name. And the coolest thing about this is it has all kinds of stuff to read. I'm not going to read everything in here, but if you want to pause the video to read that, you go right ahead. And these were all the Snugglebumms that you could get. Now, the only two that I had were the Papa with the top hat, which is this guy. And I also had this little blue one with the acorn hat. And I had one of these little butterfly characters too, which I need to get for my collection. I don't want to get all of these. I just want the ones that I had when I was a kid. And I definitely had Papa Gently. And I wish he would have come with a top hat, but he didn't. I think that would have been really cool. In fact, I might make him a top hat someday if I get around to it. And then there was also Mama Brightly. So if you want to read these, definitely just pause the video. Now, the cool thing about Mama and the Papa, Mama and the Papas, it's a music group I actually really like. But anyway, these have a battery in them. And when you squeeze it, he lights up. So I used to take him to bed with me. I remember this as a kid. and I would hug him, and he would glow and protect me from all these scary monsters. You know, when you're a kid, you think about stuff like that. But isn't he just absolutely adorable? He has purple eyes, and his fur is really weird. I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't feel like troll hair or My Little Pony hair or anything like that. It's very, very bizarre. But yeah, so that's his hair, and you can brush him. I just thought these were so cool when I was a little kid. I loved anything that would light up or glow, and I still do to this day. So anyway, there are other characters, and these are all the children. There's Cheerilee, and she actually did come with the little antenna headband. And then there was Warmly, and she actually came with a head band that had like flowers on it. And then there was Fondly, and she came with bows. And then the last one was the one I had. I need to get him still. I have not been able to find him for a good price. But this is Sprightly, and he came with an acorn hat. And all the children ones, if you would shake them, they would squeak. They had a little squeaker in them. So he's going to hang out with us here for the rest of the video, I think. I think that will be cool. And I've had this Snuggle Pets for a while, and I've been wanting to open it. So today is the day. I'm going to try to keep this cardboard, but we are going to open it. And you can see there is a barcode, and it says proof of purchase. Not that you'll ever need the barcode to find this. And I think the coolest part of this is it still has the price tag on it. And he was $4.93. So this is a lot of fun opening older toys because it's like a time capsule. Oh, his hair is so soft. He actually has some pink hair, which would have been Lucky, the other one. But this is Trusty. He's basically like a little dinosaur. Isn't he adorable? He's just a little figurine. He doesn't squeak or anything, but he is vinyl, squishy. Very much like a My Little Pony. And then he has this really soft purple hair. And he comes with a pink brush that looks just like the one that came with Papa Brightly. And it does say Play School on it. The brushes on him and this one feel kind of sticky or like oily. Not really sticky. They feel oily. And I think that might be the plastic is starting to break down. But the vinyl on the toys is fine. But you can brush the hair on this. I try not to do it too much because it does pull some of it out. But there you have it. There is Trusty, the little snuggle pet. And he can hang out here with Papa Brightly. So I think that's so cool. Now, the pets didn't come with a storybook like the other ones would. But it does still say this on the back. So if you want to read that, you can pause the video. And these were a subsidiary of Hasbro Bradley. Look at that. So basically Hasbro, Milton Bradley, Play School were all kind of the same company. So that's that. I think it's really cool. This packaging is all yellow, so I was wondering what he would look like out of the packaging, and he looks brand spanking new. And he has a vinyl scent to him even. It's like My Little Pony scent from back in the day. All right, so speaking of My Little Pony, we do have these new Totally Rad collection My Little Ponies, and I have the other two. There's 4 of them. This one in this box has 2 of them in it. And this came from Amazon, and these I found at Target. And I actually had found one of these other ones at Target, and I had to return it because I couldn't find the 4th one at Target at the time, so I ordered it on Amazon, and it came in a 2-pack. So, just so you know, I will put links to those in the iCards, and it'll be in the description. But before we get into those, we have two more older retro toys to look at. Now, these are very new to me. I do not remember these at all, but I was watching one of Chad Marvelous's videos, and someone sent him one of these out of the box. And it didn't have any of the accessories or anything, and I thought it was really cute, and it's very My Little Pony-esque. But these are called Darlin Dinos, Snazzy's Your True Dinosaur Friend. It says they have long hair to style. And it says, Snazzies are many things. Lovable, well-dressed, fun play characters. And this is the company that made them. These came out in 1992. I don't know how to pronounce this. It might be like Meritus, probably. But it says it has posable arms and legs, and it does show there's multiple characters, and they look like they live in like a Candyland kind of scenery. But there's Bronte, Triceratops, and T-Rexan, and I don't know, I think this is a T-Rexan, because I've seen some of the other two, and I don't know. This is either a Bronte or a T-Rexan. I'm not sure. It doesn't tell you specifically who your character is. But it does have this all in the back if you want to pause the video to read it. It just says that they are sweet and lovely girl dinosaurs, and they live in the present era. They were hidden by their parents in order to protect them, and re-emerged recently when a construction crew dug them up. It's such a crazy concept that, I don't know, it's like dinosaurs for girls. And you can see it does have prices on it. So it was originally $4.97, and then it was on clearance for $3.90. I definitely didn't pay that. I got this off of eBay. It was a good price, though. I can't remember exactly how much I paid, but I think it was only around $10. And I'm very excited to open this up. And I'm definitely going to keep the cards for these because they're so cool. But yeah, I had never, ever heard of these until I saw Chad Marvelous get one in a package from someone. One of his subscribers sent him a package. And I thought this was so cool to see. So here she is. She's amazing. She reminds me of Carmen Miranda. She has a fruit bowl hat, a maraca, and she has this like dress that's very, very weird. I don't know how to explain it. It kind of looks like jelly beans all over it. And then it is removable. Her head can turn, so that's pretty cool. Her arms can go up and down only, they don't move out, and her legs can move. They're a little stiff. That one isn't, though. And I think, yeah, her tail is also posable, so she's got a lot of posability to her. And I love her hair. It's green and purple, which is one of my favorite color combinations. This feels like polypropylene. It doesn't feel great. I kind of expected that. But the hat is basically just threaded onto her hair. So this is what she would look like without the hat on. But I love her colors. The orange and the purple and the blue and the green. It's really cool. And then she has a gemstone on her chest, which is really cool. And this dress is actually, there's some plastic that's holding it in place. So I'm going to remove that. And she has the maraca can be removed as well. So let me see here. This is what she looks like without the outfit on. And let me get this off of her because we don't want that old sticky thing on there. So here she is without her outfit on, and she has a lot of detail to her. I think these are really cute, and I would love to get one of each type of dinosaur. So, whichever one this is, I don't know. I don't know if this is a Bronte or a T-Rexan. If anyone out there knows anything about these Darling Dinos, I would appreciate it very much if you left a comment for me and told me which character this is. I'm going to have to look them up on eBay again and see if I can find the other two. All right, so there she is, all put back together. Very cute. She's going to be displayed with my My Little Pony collection. I feel like she fits in with them pretty well. And she does come with this brush that looks like a bone with a bow. And it reminds me so much of Cave Club brushes or combs. Which came out way after these came out in just not that long ago. It's been probably like 10 years now or so. So it's kind of funny. It just feels like Cave Club definitely copied off of them, or maybe it's just one of those concepts that's easy to copy without realizing you are because it's a dinosaur. All right, so I showed this in a previous thrifting video. I found two of these at Value Village, and I picked one up and left the other one there for someone else to find. This is a Easter Cheerilee, so she has these bunny ears on. And here's the barcode for that, which is so interesting just to see how they did barcodes where it actually says the name of the character. And this says, ponies with this symbol can wear most dress-up fashions. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think she has a magnet on her foot. She just has the little peg instead. So this is a really interesting toy to find in the packaging. And if you want to read that, you can. And it does say here, spring is here, and the ponies celebrate this sunny season with bouquets of flowers and sweet treats for everyone. So this was a spring release. And I don't know if this was specific to a certain store or if it was at most stores. But a lot of times it was Target who had these specific holiday My Little Ponies. I know they did the Christmas My Little Ponies a lot back then. I think that's really cool to have found one in the packaging, and there was two of them. I'm guessing that someone had them maybe in storage and just found them and donated them. I have a lot of toys in storage, and I really need to go through them and sell some and donate some and all that kind of stuff. So that's probably something I will be doing eventually. All right, let me get her out of here and then we'll take a look. All right, I wanted to show this real quick. Her hair is done up in one of these. Do you remember when Ponies and My Little Pony, or Barbies and My Little Ponies used to come with these plastics, like slips, like they were sewn into the hair, basically, and you could pull them apart to release the hair, and I always found that very satisfying. So there's that. It is kind of stuck to her hair a bit. It has some tape on it. And then this tail is also taped in. Before we take a look at the pony, I wanted to point out that this looks like an Easter basket. And I didn't even realize that until I had opened it. And then here is, like, it's supposed to look like the front of an Easter basket, I think. And it the design kind of goes around. It's kind of cool. I might keep these too, just because I love keeping like stuff like that. Eventually, I would love to do a scrapbook someday, and I have a feeling like at some point, maybe I've sold off a lot of my toy collection because maybe I'm focusing more on one thing or the other. But those I could always keep and put in a scrapbook, and it would be like, I could look at the scrapbook and remember the types of toys that I used to collect, and it'd be like, trip down memory lane kind of thing. The pony is awesome because she's in like perfect condition. Now the only problem is that her ears have an elastic that has broken and started to disintegrate. And I'm hoping that it will come right off the pony without leaving any marks. It's certainly dried up. And the ears you don't really need these to keep the ears on because it looks like the ears just slip right over the pony's ears. So here's what she looks like with the ears on, and here's her beautiful hair. I'm gonna wash this hair though, and I think I'm gonna wash all of their hair as well. Not hers though. It seems like it's in fine condition. I don't want to ruin it because it seems like polypropylene, but My Little Ponies have nylon hair, so this will wash up beautifully, and I want it to like look a lot better than the way it looks now. It just looks really messy. But the ears do come off, and that's probably how I'm going to display her in my collection. But isn't she adorable? She has really pretty aqua green colored eyes with little pink stars. And then she has this really cool cutie mark that looks like cherry blossoms, but then it goes down into her leg and it has this like gradient, which is really cool. I don't have any ponies in my collection that have this gradient like that. So I think it's really cool to have this for my collection. I'm really happy. And I like this pose. I don't know what this pose is called, but I really like this pose, and I like that the head can turn, so you can actually display it in your collection how you prefer, if you like it that way, or if you like to have them so you can see their cutie mark. So, very, very cool. I love her. She's a little wobbly on the desk, though, but she still stands up. All right, so that's all the retro toys, and I think I'm going to set them up over here on a display, and then we will start to open up these. All right, I got them all set up. So now we can delve into these My Little Ponies. So these are a new collection that just came out recently, and they're supposed to be like 80s, like kind of retro, like totally rad. Very cool. They come with scrunchies for their tail and leg warmers for their front legs only. And then it has artwork on the back of each character. And it says flashback to leg warmer days with these super fly trend-setting ponies featuring iconic crimped hair and neon colors. Celebrate the era of big and bold style. These ponies are ready to bring the ultimate party vibes to your collection. So I forgot that they have crimped hair. So if I wash their hair, it's possible the crimping might go away. So depending on how well it looks out of the packaging, I might leave that alone. But this is Sky Dancer. And you can't even see her cutie mark because it either is on the other side or it's being hidden by the scrunchie. But she does have these little birds as her cutie mark. And I love this packaging. It looks like the stable packaging, but then it has like this whole retro color palette to it. It's very Lisa Frank with the tiger stripes and rainbow. And it does show the 4 that you can get. Now, there is something wrong with one of the ponies on here, and I'm not going to point it out specifically other than just say that there's something wrong, and I'll let someone figure that out, and you can leave a comment down below if you figured out what is going on that's wrong with one of these ponies. So that is Sky Dancer, and then we also have Moonstone. And I love Moonstone, and this is a really interesting version of her. And it has her cutie mark here as well, which is really cool. It's like Saturn and stars or planets. And then it has artwork of her on the back. It's really cool. Now, I forgot to show, this is Skydancer's barcode. And this is Moonstone's barcode. And these are a basic fun toy, but they are licensed by Hasbro because Hasbro has the rights for My Little Pony still. So now this has the other two in it, and this is a really cool packaging. I love this. It's in 3 different languages, which is really cool. And this is the barcode for this, but I ordered this from Amazon, and I will leave a link below to these, but I will also show you their individual barcodes as long as they have them. I honestly not sure what the packaging looks like once you get it out of this box. I'm hoping they look just like the other two. Okay, it looks like they do look like they're just the other two. So let's get these out of here. Very cool. Okay, now here is Firefly and her packaging. I love that they come with a comb. It's really cool. And then here is Firefly's barcode. And they all have kind of a different theme, like to their colors on the back. All right, and then here is Starshine. I love this pony. This is probably one of my favorite ponies, and I do not have the original Starshine. I do have an original Moonstone, but the other 3 I don't own at all. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to get these, because it's one way to get them for a reasonable price, because these are only $9.99 at Target, and on Amazon for the 2 of these was like $19.99 or something like that. It was like $20. And here is the barcode for Starshine. I don't know if I showed that. And here is her artwork on the back. So now that you've seen all the ponies, maybe you can figure out what I meant by there's something wrong with them, with the artwork. All right, so we are going to start with Moonstone. These, I love the packaging for these. It's so cool. And I love the colors that they use for these as well. And it's really cool. They even have like the blue, like their tiger stripes or zebra stripes in the side of the box at the bottom. All right, so we're just going to leave that right there. Oh, man, these are so vivid. I love it. And let's see, can I get the... Oh, they did the hair thing on here. That is so cool. All right, so... You don't see that very often anymore, so it's like when I see it, it just brings back memories of opening up a My Little Pony when I was a kid. And I didn't own very many My Little Ponies as a kid, actually. Like, I've mentioned it before. I'm knocking everything over. I've mentioned it before, but as a kid, I always felt very self-conscious about buying certain toys because they were viewed as being girl toys. But there were exceptions where, like, I had a Cabbage Patch Kid, but it was a boy. Or I had a My Little Pony, but it was the boy ponies. Or I had Strawberry Shortcake Doll, but it was Huckleberry Pie. That kind of thing. All right, so here is Moonstone right out of her packaging. And, oh my gosh, her hair is really soft. It's very soft. And it's crimped even on the tail. And here is the mane. It actually doesn't look too bad, but it does have a little bit of hair gel in it. So I might gently wash out the hair gel with very lukewarm water, almost kind of cold water, because I don't want to get rid of that crimping. And these have the heads that can turn, because these are the newer ones. And they have the cutie mark on both sides. Now, Moonstone's original cutie mark was all glitter. And so, like, when you find Moonstone, sometimes in, like, thrifting, the original one, you find her, the glitter is mostly gone. But it's kind of cool to see one that doesn't have glitter. And it's interesting how they did the eyes on these. There's no white painted to their eyes, which I would have rather have had the white in there too. But she is super pretty. I love her. And she has these leg warmers that are like a kind of an orangey color and a yellow scrunchie. And the scrunchie, I think it might actually work as a scrunchie for like you if you have long hair. That's pretty cool. I think that's really cool. Because it looks like it's wrapped around twice. Yeah. So I think that would actually work for your own hair, which I think is really cool. Of course, I don't have any hair. This is the comb, and it looks like headphones. So that's really cool. And you can... Wow, that combed through her tail so easily because there's no hair gel on that. But there is hair gel on the mane, so I'm not gonna comb through that too much. I don't want to ruin it. But that's Moonstone. She's super pretty. I love this packaging. I'm probably going to cut out the back of the artwork and keep that because I think that's really cool. All right, so the next one we will look at is Sky Dancer, and I love the yellow. How bright that yellow is. Like, these are probably blacklight responsive. So you can see the hair does sort of glow a bit. Oh, and even the cutie mark kind of glows. See that? It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, look at that. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but either way, that is really cool. All right, let's get Sky Dancer out of her packaging. I think these are really cool. I hope they come out with more like of these stylized versions of older original My Little Ponies. I think that's really cool. I absolutely love buying retro toys like this. So it looks like they all kind of have the same color of manes. I was kind of hoping that hers was this color, like the kind of like magenta and turquoise and stuff, but it looks more like a rainbow like hers does, which is fine. I think it looks really pretty. Here is Sky Dancer right out of her packaging, and like I said, she does have the little blue birds for her cutie mark, and they're on both sides. And she has blue leg warmers and a pink scrunchie. And again, the hair is so soft, except for the mane has a little bit of hair gel in it. So I'm going to have to wash that out. But she's really pretty. I love this yellow, how bright it is. And then she has pink eyes. It's very cool. I'm going to be working on some custom ponies, and looking at the eyes on these is going to be very helpful for if I need to repaint eyes on them. I think I'm not going to repaint the eyes. I'm probably just going to paint the eye color. But anyway, that's besides the point. It doesn't have anything to do with this video. I just thought I'd mention it because I was thinking. And she comes with a pink headphone comb, and oddly enough, it is a slightly different pink than the one that came with Moonstone. Moonstone's is a little darker pink, and I'm gonna totally get these mixed up, so I'm gonna put them over here on their boxes so that I don't confuse them, although eventually I probably will put them away and then I'll forget. But yes, she's really pretty. I really like the yellow she's gorgeous. Okay, so next we are going to look at Firefly. And Firefly is a pony that I know about, but don't have. The other two, Skydancer and Starshine, I knew about Starshine, but I didn't know her name. I just knew her from the way she looks. But this one is one that I know by name, and I don't have her in my collection. So it's so nice to finally have a version of her. Alright, and again, I'm going to get her hair out of here, and then we will take a look. Here is Firefly out of her packaging, and she's really cute. I don't actually have a lot of Pegasus ponies from a G1 of My Little Pony, which is what this is a reproduction of. So it's so nice to get more Pegasus ponies. And her hair, again, is very soft, and it's all crimped. Now, she also has a yellow scrunchie that is the same yellow scrunchie as Moonstone. But her leg warmers are blue, and they're, oddly enough, they're only on this side, because they couldn't put it on this leg. So it's kind of funny how they're, like, different. But they're the same blue leg warmers as this other pony, as Skydancer. I had to look at the box because I had already forgotten her name. Oh my god, I'm terrible at remembering names sometimes. But yeah, this is really cute. And she has her lightning bolt cutie mark on both sides. And the crimped hair. I love the crimped hair. I think it just looks so neat. I like that, the way that looks. It's very, very chic. All right, so we'll put her here. And her comb is a headphones that's green. So, very interesting. It looks like they only had 2 colors for each accessory, and they kind of mixed and matched them between the 4 different ponies. So now we're going to look at this last one, which is Starshine. And I will tell you, once I get her out of the box, which pony it was that has a mistake in the artwork. If you haven't figured it out yet or guessed and you still want to, leave a comment. So, oh, her box is really pretty. It has yellow, like, zebra print, and then a pink backdrop. I just absolutely love these boxes. I think they are so cool. All right, let me get her out of here, and then we will take a look. Here is Starshine out of her packaging, and she is gorgeous. Her cutie mark is really light, though. It's really hard to see, and I'm kind of wondering if it's blacklight responsive. Oh, it is. It really, really glows in blacklight. Let me try this light, too. Okay, that's too bright. That's a UV light. But yeah, that really glows. I think that's really cool. So she has the pink scrunchie, just like Skydancer has. But she has the orange... I suddenly forgot what they're called. Leg warmers. The orange leg warmers like Moonstone has. So they kind of... You can see they mixed and matched the different colors. I would have liked to have seen more colors in those. Maybe each one had their own color, but you know, I get it. They're trying to save money. These are only $9.99. That is a steal these days for any kind of toy, I think. Again, they all have the same colors of hair, so it's all rainbow colors, which is fine because I think they originally had rainbow hair. Oh, you know who doesn't have rainbow hair is Firefly. So I think they kept with the right colors for the correct matching colors, but just amped up the brightness on the colors. I think that's what they did for these. But this is definitely my favorite one out of the 4. And I love this pose. It's the same pose as Skydancer. So Skydancer and Starshine both have the same pose. And I feel like maybe there was a last minute change or something to who was included in this set to have 2 Pegasus ponies with the same pose, have 3 Pegasus ponies, and 1 unicorn. Because if you look, and here's the answer to what's wrong with the artwork, her artwork is a unicorn. That is not the right artwork. That should have been a Pegasus. And if you look at the side, you can see there's they have 2 unicorns and 2 Pegasus. And I think maybe that's what they were trying to go for. But then they picked Starshine for some reason, and Starshine is not a unicorn. So it's really interesting. I wonder what the thought process was behind all this, or why there's that mistake. I would love to know. I mean, I think that's really cool when stuff like that happens. It's just weird. But again, she has the same comb as the other one, and these are exactly the same color. Whereas those other 2 pink ones, one is slightly darker than the other, and that's probably just the plastic was slightly different, even though it was supposed to be the same, because that does happen. There are slight variations a lot of times with toys. But you'll have to let me know what you think of these 4 retro, totally rad ponies. I think they are really cool. I love the bright colors. I am a little confused as to why 3 of them have rainbow hair and 1 of them doesn't. I mean, I get it. They're trying to match the ponies, but I feel like they should have picked maybe a different pony than this one or this one and had a unicorn. I would have liked to have seen another unicorn or just a regular pony in this series. That's just my thoughts, but I still think they are amazing for the price. You can get 4 new retro ponies for $40, and I think that is a pretty good deal. Sometimes when you buy these older ponies, like the original versions, they're going to be in really bad condition, and these are in great condition to start, and all they need is a hair wash. So unless you can find retro actual ponies from that, the time period they're from. This was from the 2000s, I think. I forgot to mention that. Does it say? Yeah. She came out in 2007. I think I forgot to mention that. So we have toys from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and then the 2020s. We don't have anything from 2010 in this video, but I don't know if I'd call that retro yet. 2010s, maybe. Depends on who you are, I guess. But you'll have to let me know who was your favorite pony today, or who was your favorite character of all. If I had to pick one out of everything here, I might have to go with Trusty the Snuggle Pet, because I am so happy to finally have him in my collection, unboxed, and he can go on display with Papa Brightly, and I just think that's so cool. But yeah, let me know down in the comments who you liked the most today. And like the video if you liked it, and hype it up if you can. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit that bell for notifications. And definitely check out the join button down below for more information about my memberships. Thank you guys again. I really enjoyed this video. This was a lot of fun. It took me back to being a child again, and I think that's the most important thing about toy collecting is, finding that inner child and connecting with it. Take care out there. Love you guys. Bye. A special shout out to all my members. Thank you guys so much. Also, thank you to all my subscribers, new and old. Without you, these videos would not be possible. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.